Valerie Bertinelli appeared on the Today Show expecting a casual interview about her latest projects and life updates. From the start, the atmosphere was upbeat, with Hoda Kotb asking light-hearted questions about Valerie's career and personal experiences. The conversation began comfortably, with Valerie smiling and sharing anecdotes from her recent endeavors. The audience seemed relaxed, enjoying what they assumed would be a typical celebrity segment filled with laughter and nostalgia. However, tension started creeping in when Hoda shifted the topic toward recent controversies surrounding Valerie's public statements on social media. Valerie attempted to address the issue diplomatically, explaining her intent and clarifying any misunderstandings. Hoda, known for her assertive style, pressed it further, asking whether Valerie considered the potential backlash her comments might generate. The friendly tone quickly changed, with the air in the studio becoming noticeably tense. Valerie's expression tightened as Hoda asked pointed questions about her personal decisions, questioning the motivations behind her statements. Valerie remained calm but firm, emphasizing that she speaks honestly and does not intend to offend anyone. Hoda's repeated interruptions, however, caused Valerie's patience to wane. The audience watched intently, sensing the conversation was moving from polite dialogue toward confrontation. That discussion escalated when Hoda questioned Valerie's judgment regarding a recent career choice. Valerie leaned forward slightly, her voice controlled but firm, stating that she makes decisions based on personal and professional values. Hoda countered by suggesting that some of her choices were controversial and public perception. This remark struck a nerve, and Valerie's tone became sharper, signaling the beginning of an emotional escalation that would soon dominate the segment. Valerie tried to redirect the conversation toward her new projects, but Hoda persisted, challenging her on past comments and decisions. Valerie's frustration began to show as she explained the context behind her actions, emphasizing the importance of authenticity. She insisted that her career and personal life are intertwined and that media scrutiny often simplifies complex situations. The audience could feel the rising tension as Valerie struggled to maintain composure. Hoda continued pressing on sensitive topics, bringing up personal challenges Valerie faced in recent years. Valerie responded with honesty, sharing moments of vulnerability and growth. Despite her openness, Hoda seemed to push boundaries, asking whether Valerie felt any regret for certain public statements. Valerie's tone hardened, and she made it clear that she stands by her choices while acknowledging that not everyone will understand them. The situation intensified when Hoda implied that Valerie's behavior might negatively influence fans and public perception. Valerie, visibly frustrated, defended herself passionately, asserting that she sets an example by being honest rather than hiding behind carefully curated images. She explained that authenticity is more important than perfection and that she hopes fans understand the complexity behind public personas. The studio grew quiet as the confrontation escalated. Hoda pressed further, referencing specific moments from Valerie's past interviews that had sparked controversy online. Valerie responded with measured clarity, explaining the circumstances and providing context often overlooked by critics. She emphasized that snippets of interviews cannot capture the full picture. The tension was palpable as Valerie's frustration increased, though she remained articulate and composed, refusing to lash out despite the mounting pressure. A co-host attempted to interject, attempting to diffuse the tension and redirect the conversation to Valerie's current work. Valerie welcomed the change but Hoda returned to challenging her statements, questioning whether Valerie felt misunderstood by the public. Valerie's patience began to wear thin as she reiterated that she does not control public interpretation but can only speak her truth. Her voice grew firmer, signaling her rising frustration. Hoda then asked Valerie about her social media presence and whether she thinks carefully before posting controversial content. Valerie explained that she shares her opinions openly while being mindful, but cannot predict public reaction. She said that constructive dialogue is valuable, but oversimplification or misrepresentation frustrates her. The audience could sense the building tension, with viewers noting that Valerie's typically warm demeanor was replaced by firm assertiveness. When Hoda suggested that Valerie's critics might have a point, Valerie's expression shifted noticeably. She leaned forward, emphasizing that she acknowledges feedback but cannot compromise her integrity. She expressed that constantly second-guessing herself would undermine her personal values. Hoda's insistence on framing her statements as problematic intensified Valerie's irritation, moving the exchange closer to confrontation. Valerie shared personal stories about handling public scrutiny, detailing the emotional toll it takes. She discussed balancing her professional career with personal life and how misinterpretations online can be exhausting. Despite her composed delivery, the underlying tension was evident. Hoda's next question focused on whether Valerie feels pressure to maintain a perfect image. Further exacerbated her frustration, revealing the limits of her patience during the live broadcast. The confrontation escalated when Hoda questioned Valerie's motives for certain professional choices, implying that they were calculated for publicity. Valerie's tone sharpened as she firmly denied this, stating her career decisions stemmed from passion and personal growth rather than media attention. She emphasized her dedication to her craft, and the audience reacted audibly to the rising tension, recognizing that the conversation was becoming a heated exchange rather than a standard interview. Valerie attempted to pivot the discussion toward her charitable work and advocacy, hoping to redirect attention to positive contributions. Hoda, however, interrupted, questioning whether public perception affects her willingness to participate in these causes. Valerie's frustration grew, and she stressed that public perception cannot dictate her values or actions. Her voice became noticeably stronger, reflecting her determination to defend her reputation and personal integrity. The co-host tried again to change the topic, highlighting Valerie's recent projects and upcoming appearances. Valerie appreciated the support but felt Hoda's persistent questioning remained confrontational. She reiterated that her intentions are genuine and that she hopes her work speaks for itself. The tension in the studio continued to build as Valerie's composure strained against repeated challenging questions, signaling that a breaking point was near. Hoda probed further, focusing on Valerie's personal challenges, past relationships, and family dynamics. Valerie responded with calm yet firm statements, expressing that personal experiences have shaped her career but should not be oversimplified. She acknowledged mistakes openly but refused to accept unfair generalizations. The audience sensed that the exchange was escalating beyond professional discussion. With Valerie visibly growing more exasperated, the confrontation reached a critical moment when Hoda insinuated that Valerie's public persona might be influenced by others or by media expectations. Valerie's voice rose slightly as she defended her autonomy and personal choices. She stressed that she is accountable for her actions, not manipulated by outside pressures. The live audience reacted with murmurs, aware that Valerie's patience was nearing a tipping point. Valerie attempted to clarify that media often distorts reality and that snippets of interviews rarely reflect her full perspective. She emphasized her commitment to honesty and transparency, explaining that she prioritizes authenticity over appeasing critics. Hoda countered by saying some people might misinterpret her candor. Valerie, feeling cornered, expressed that repeated mischaracterization is frustrating and undermines genuine dialogue. As the conversation continued, Valerie's frustration became more apparent. Her expressions tightened, and her responses carried more intensity. She emphasized that she has always acted in good faith and that persistent scrutiny often ignores context. The audience noted a shift from typical celebrity charm to assertive defense, signaling that Valerie's tolerance for perceived misrepresentation had reached its limit. Hoda asked a pointed question about Valerie's personal opinions on trending controversies, which Valerie felt was a trap. She responded cautiously but firmly, asserting that her values guide her commentary, not public trends. She explained that oversimplified interpretations damage constructive conversations. Her tone conveyed that she would not allow the discussion to veer into sensationalism at the expense of truth. Valerie then addressed the emotional impact of constant questioning about personal life choices. She shared that repeated scrutiny has been challenging, and while she engages with honesty, it is exhausting when conversations are framed as judgment. Hoda pressed on, asking about her reaction to criticism. Valerie responded candidly, expressing that while she respects dialogue, persistent insinuations are frustrating. The studio grew increasingly tense as Valerie's composure began to waver. Her voice became firmer, and she spoke with a level of assertiveness that surprised viewers. Valerie explained that she is committed to being true to herself and that defending her reputation is necessary when public perception is unfairly influenced. The co-host sensed the situation escalating and attempted to intervene subtly. Hoda's questioning turned toward Valerie's career longevity and public image, implying that past actions might impact her current work. Valerie responded forcefully, clarifying that her career is built on talent, perseverance, and authenticity. She stated that public opinion fluctuates, but she cannot allow fleeting criticism to dictate her choices. The audience watched in silence, recognizing the mounting tension. Valerie then reminded viewers that everyone makes mistakes and that personal growth is part of life. She stressed that being accountable does not mean surrendering individuality. Her tone combined frustration with conviction, emphasizing the need for understanding beyond superficial judgment. Hoda challenged this perspective again, prompting Valerie to firmly defend her autonomy and personal decision-making. The conversation reached its peak when Valerie's patience visibly snapped. She interrupted Hoda mid-question, stating that the line of questioning felt unfair and invasive. She made it clear that she would not continue discussing personal judgments framed as criticism. The audience reacted audibly, sensing that a dramatic moment was imminent on live television. Valerie stood abruptly, signaling the culmination of her frustration. She told the hosts that she needed to step away from the discussion and protect her integrity. Her body language conveyed a mix of exasperation and resolve. The studio audience reacted with shock, realizing that the segment was ending in a rare and unplanned confrontation that would generate immediate public attention. Hoda attempted to respond diplomatically, acknowledging Valerie's perspective and expressing regret for any discomfort caused. Valerie remained firm, emphasizing the importance of respecting boundaries during interviews. She walked off the set, leaving the co-hosts to address the unexpected situation. The tension lingered in the studio, and social media began buzzing immediately with reactions to the confrontation. After Valerie left, the hosts discussed the exchange on air, acknowledging the intensity and expressing hope that dialogue could continue in a more respectful context. They noted Valerie's passion and dedication to her work and highlighted the importance of empathy in conversations involving personal topics. The audience was left reflecting on the emotional weight behind celebrity interviews and the boundaries between personal and professional discussions. The segment quickly became a trending topic online, with clips of Valerie walking off generating millions of views. Fans and critics alike debated the confrontation, sharing opinions about both Valerie and Hoda. Commentary highlighted Valerie's assertiveness and her refusal to tolerate perceived unfair questioning. Social media buzzed with hashtags, clips, and commentary dissecting each moment of the heated exchange. In the aftermath, Valerie released a statement emphasizing her commitment to authenticity and personal boundaries. She thanked fans for their support and reiterated that interviews should respect both professional achievements and personal integrity. The confrontation became a reminder of the pressures public figures face and the importance of understanding context behind heated moments, leaving a lasting impression on viewers and sparking widespread conversation. After leaving the set, Valerie took a moment backstage to collect her thoughts. She reflected on how the interview began casually but escalated unexpectedly. Crew members approached her with concern, but she insisted she was fine. She explained that maintaining personal boundaries is crucial for mental health, especially under public scrutiny. Her demeanor backstage contrasted with the heated exchange on air, showing a mix of relief and lingering frustration from the confrontation. Valerie shared with producers that her goal was never to escalate the situation but to stand up for herself respectfully. She emphasized that honest dialogue is important, but persistent, confrontational questioning can feel unfair and invasive. She noted that interviews are opportunities to share achievements, but they should also honor personal dignity. This backstage conversation revealed how carefully Valerie balances transparency with protecting her own emotional well-being. Meanwhile, social media exploded as clips of Valerie walking off circulated. Fans rallied in her support, praising her for standing firm, Critics debated whether her reaction was justified or overly dramatic. Valerie's representatives clarified that her response was about maintaining respect and boundaries rather than avoiding tough questions. The incident became a trending topic on multiple platforms, highlighting the power of live television to provoke immediate, widespread reactions. News outlets began reporting on the confrontation, framing it as one of the most dramatic moments in recent daytime TV. Analysts speculated on the implications for both Valerie's public image and the Today Show. The headlines emphasized her assertiveness and willingness to protect her personal integrity, creating a narrative that resonated with audiences. Social commentary emerged about the challenges celebrities face when navigating intrusive questioning on live broadcasts. Backstage, Valerie reflected on how past experiences prepared her for this moment. She shared with her team that while public criticism can be frustrating, it's essential to stay true to one's values. She noted that interviews often mix professional promotion with personal commentary, and it's vital to recognize boundaries. This mindset allowed her to leave the studio with her dignity intact, despite the confrontation escalating on air. Producers attempted to smooth over the live broadcast by discussing Valerie's achievements and highlighting upcoming projects. They acknowledged the tension but encouraged viewers to focus on her career accomplishments. Valerie appreciated the effort to redirect attention to her professional work. The audience watched cautiously, intrigued by the contrast between the heated exchange and the subsequent backstage efforts to emphasize her positive contributions. Valerie's agent began coordinating public statements to clarify her perspective. They emphasized that standing up during a live broadcast was not a reflection of disrespect but a defense of personal boundaries. Statements highlighted her dedication to authenticity, her career, and her fans. Media outlets rebroadcast key moments, analyzing her reactions and framing them as a rare instance of a celebrity refusing to be cornered on national television. Hoda Kotb also addressed the situation after the segment ended, offering an on-air acknowledgement of Valerie's decision to step away. She expressed regret if Valerie felt uncomfortable but also reiterated the importance of honest questioning during interviews. The acknowledgement demonstrated a professional attempt to de-escalate tension while maintaining journalistic integrity. Audiences appreciated the balanced response, though discussions online remained divided. Fans of Valerie flooded social media with supportive messages, sharing clips of her walking off and praising her assertiveness. Many emphasized the importance of respecting personal boundaries in interviews, drawing attention to mental health and public scrutiny issues. That discussion evolved beyond entertainment, touching on broader conversations about celebrity well-being and the pressures of living in the public eye. Entertainment news programs dissected the exchange, comparing it to other on-air confrontations in daytime television history. Analysts debated whether Valerie's reaction might impact future appearances on talk shows or strengthen her image as someone unwilling to tolerate unfair questioning. The commentary highlighted the rare intensity of the moment and the skill with which Valerie maintained her composure while asserting herself. Valerie later recounted the experience to her close friends and family, explaining her perspective and expressing relief that she had maintained control over the situation. She emphasized that stepping away was a deliberate choice to protect her personal integrity, not an act of anger. The discussion with loved ones reinforced her resolve to prioritize mental health while navigating the challenges of public life. Some commentators suggested that the confrontation could set a precedent for celebrity interviews, encouraging others to assert boundaries when faced with persistent or invasive questioning. Valerie's actions were framed as a model for respectful but firm responses to uncomfortable scenarios. Media experts noted that audiences often admire celebrities who handle high-pressure moments authentically rather than passively enduring criticism. Valerie reflected that live interviews are unpredictable, requiring both preparation and emotional awareness. She shared that even with experience, it's easy for conversations to become tense when personal topics arise unexpectedly. Her reflection highlighted the skill needed to balance transparency, humor, and assertiveness while under public scrutiny. It also illustrated why she chose to remove herself from the confrontation rather than escalate it further. The incident sparked discussions among fellow celebrities, some expressing empathy for Valerie. Many praised her courage in defending personal boundaries on live television. They acknowledged that interviews can often feel intrusive, and standing firm is a sign of professional strength. Valerie's peers noted that such moments resonate with audiences, particularly women navigating similar pressures in high-profile careers. Media outlets highlighted that Valerie's response was rooted in self-respect and professionalism. Her decision to step away sparked debate, but most agreed that asserting boundaries is essential, especially in high-stakes, live settings. Analysts suggested that Valerie's reputation might strengthen as a result, portraying her as someone who balances warmth and openness with firm self-advocacy. Valerie released a personal statement emphasizing gratitude for her fans' support and reiterating the importance of authenticity. She thanked her audience for understanding the pressures of public life and explained that she hopes conversations like this highlight the need for respect and thoughtful dialogue. Her statement further reinforced her commitment to honesty while maintaining personal dignity. Social media discussions continued, with hashtags related to the incident trending for days. Clips of Valerie's walkout, combined with analyses of Hoda's questioning style, generated widespread conversation. Fans debated the ethics of aggressive interviewing and the balance between journalistic inquiry and personal respect. Valerie's approach was often cited as a benchmark for how to assert boundaries professionally. Valerie's PR team worked to ensure the narrative emphasized her professionalism and dedication to her craft. Interviews, social media posts, and news updates highlighted her career achievements while providing context for the confrontation. Analysts noted that carefully managing the messaging after such incidents is critical to maintain public image and ensure audiences focus on substance over sensationalism. The story spread internationally, with coverage in entertainment magazines and online news platforms. Commentators framed Valerie's response as a statement on mental health, self-respect, and authenticity in the celebrity world. Analysts noted that the incident sparked a broader cultural discussion about boundaries, emotional well-being, and the challenges of public life. Valerie reflected that the incident underscored her commitment to living authentically. She shared that while public appearances involve scrutiny, she prioritizes honesty and personal integrity over pleasing everyone. Her reflection resonated with audiences, highlighting that even in tense moments, professionalism and self-respect can coexist. Producers of The Today Show reviewed the segment to identify ways to prevent similar confrontations. They acknowledged that while hard questions are necessary, balancing firmness with empathy can enhance guest experience. Valerie's walkout became a case study in maintaining decorum while protecting personal boundaries during live television. Valerie discussed with colleagues the importance of emotional preparation for interviews. She shared tips on staying composed, redirecting conversation, and recognizing when to step away. Her reflections became a resource for younger celebrities learning to navigate high-pressure media appearances responsibly. As discussions continued online, fans praised Valerie for modeling assertiveness and resilience. Social media posts highlighted how her actions encouraged viewers to prioritize self-respect in professional settings. Analysts noted that such moments resonate widely because they reflect relatable challenges, despite being amplified by celebrity status. The conversation around Valerie's walkout expanded to include workplace boundaries and respectful communication. Media experts highlighted the broader implications for interviews and professional interactions, suggesting that audiences value transparency and integrity. Valerie's handling of the situation was cited as a positive example of balancing assertiveness with professionalism. Valerie reflected that live television can be unpredictable and emotionally demanding. She emphasized the need to be prepared, remain authentic, and maintain boundaries. Her approach inspired discussions on mental health, celebrity pressures, and the importance of self-care in public-facing careers. Analysts noted that Valerie's handling of the confrontation demonstrated emotional intelligence. By stepping away before escalating tension further, She maintained dignity while signaling the importance of personal boundaries. Her response became a talking point in discussions about healthy approaches to live media interactions. Valerie's walkout led to a surge of online discussions, with fans praising her courage and composure. Commentators emphasize that standing up for oneself professionally is empowering and can reshape public perception. The incident became a defining moment in Valerie's career, illustrating her commitment to authenticity and personal integrity. Media coverage continued to analyze the exchange, comparing it to similar confrontations on live television. Valerie's assertiveness was frequently highlighted, with many noting that her response balanced strength and professionalism. Analysts suggested that her handling of the situation may positively impact her long-term public image. Valerie emphasized in interviews that prioritizing mental health and personal boundaries is essential for anyone in the public eye. She expressed hope that her experience encourages other public figures to assert themselves respectfully. Her reflections resonated with fans and media alike, highlighting the pressures of celebrity life and the importance of self-advocacy. In conclusion, Valerie Bertinelli's confrontation with Hoda Kotb became a defining moment in daytime television. It sparked conversations about boundaries, mental health, and professionalism while showcasing Valerie's commitment to authenticity. Her assertive yet respectful response left a lasting impression, inspiring both fans and media professionals to value self-respect and integrity in high-pressure environments.